Good morning. It was the kind of evening that felt like time had slowed down. Cool and calm, with the streets quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves in the breeze. I was walking home after a long day, my mind heavy with thoughts about the future and the constant battle we face between what we want right now and what we want in the long run. The temptation of instant gratification was something I knew all too well. But it was a conversation I overheard that night that would shift my perspective forever. As I walked down the street, I spotted a young man sitting alone on the steps of a coffee shop, his shoulders hunched, his gaze fixed on the ground. His face was an open book of frustration. He had the look of someone on the verge of giving up. I didn't know him, but I couldn't help but feel a connection to his struggle. He was young, perhaps just a few years younger than me. And by the look on his face, he had just faced a heavy defeat. I tried, but it's just too hard, he muttered under his breath. I guess some things are just not meant to be. I couldn't help but stop in my tracks, a familiar ache tugging at me. I knew that feeling all too well, the feeling of wanting to give up when everything got too difficult. It was so easy to listen to that voice. The one that said, just quit, take a break, you've tried your best. It was a seductive whisper, promising relief from the pressure, the stress, and the frustration. But I also knew the danger of listening to that voice. I had been there. I had made that choice before, to give in to the desire for comfort, to avoid the pain of pushing through. And every time I regretted it. I looked back and wondered how much further I could have gone if I had stayed the course, if I'd faced the difficulty instead of retreating. I took a deep breath and approached the young man. He didn't notice me at first, his eyes still lost in his thoughts. But then I spoke, breaking the silence. "Do you mind if I ask you something?" I said, my voice soft but steady. He looked up, surprised. And for a moment, there was a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. But then he nodded. "Sure, go ahead." I didn't want to sound patronizing or too philosophical, but I asked the question that had been running through my mind. In 10 years, what would you rather have? The success that comes from pushing through this moment of struggle, or the satisfaction of giving up and taking the easy route? His eyes widened for a moment, as if he had never considered it. He glanced down again, this time his gaze more focused. He was thinking. I could see the wheels turning in his mind as he weighed the long-term benefits against the short-term comfort. The air seemed to hang heavy with that single question. "You know," he said after a long pause, "I've never really thought about it that way. I just wanted it to be easier. But now that you mention it, I think I'd rather succeed." A small smile tugged at the corners of his lips, the first hint of hope I'd seen in his expression. It was subtle, but it was there. I nodded. Sometimes the hardest moments are the ones that shape us the most. It's tempting to seek comfort now, but the satisfaction of seeing your efforts pay off in the long run is worth so much more. He stood up, dusting himself off. "You're right. I'm going to try again. Thanks." As I watched him walk away, a sense of clarity washed over me. It was easy to give in to the desire for instant relief, to avoid the discomfort of persistence. But in that moment, I was reminded of something that had become a guiding principle in my own life. Think in 10 years, not 10 seconds. It wasn't just a question about the future. It was a question about the value of our decisions. Every choice we make, especially in the face of struggle, shapes the life we will lead. Instant gratification might offer temporary relief, but true fulfillment comes from making the tough choices, from resisting the urge to seek comfort now for the sake of something greater down the road. The next time you're faced with a challenge, whether it's pushing through a difficult task, resisting the temptation to procrastinate, or choosing the hard path over the easy one, ask yourself, in 10 years, would I rather have the success that comes from enduring this moment, or the fleeting comfort of giving up?